Imagine flipping a coin, heads or tails. It is a straight 50-50 probability. Now imagine someone flipping that coin and landing on heads 10 times, or 100 times in a row. Statistically, the odds are virtually zero. Yet we all know someone who seems to live outside those statistics. They are the person who lands a dream job through a chance encounter on a train, the entrepreneur who moves their capital right before a market boom, or the friend who dodges a catastrophe by mere seconds. Most people look at these individuals and see a mystery. We categorize their success as a genetic gift, divine intervention, or a streak of magic that we simply weren't born with. This perspective makes us spectators in our own lives. Viewing luck as a cosmic lottery is a misunderstanding of how probability functions in the real world. As long as we treat fortune as an external force that happens to us, we remain unable to influence our own outcomes. Dr. Richard Wiseman, a British psychologist, spent 10 years investigating this phenomenon. He called his study the Luck Project. He followed hundreds of people who identified as either exceptionally lucky or remarkably unlucky. By tracking their choices and reactions over several years, he moved the study of luck out of the realm of superstition and into the lab. Wiseman discovered that lucky individuals don't have magical abilities. Instead, they consistently exhibit 4 specific psychological behaviors that their unlucky counterparts do not. Luck is a highly measurable behavioral output. Because it is rooted in how we process the world, it is a skill that can be studied and acquired. The first behavior involves environmental variety. People who struggle with bad luck often create rigid, static daily routines. They take the same route to work and speak to the same people every day, which creates a barrier that prevents new opportunities from entering their lives. Lucky people intentionally disrupt their routines to introduce random changes. Taking different paths or talking to strangers has a mathematical result. Each new interaction increases the statistical surface area for serendipity. They aren't finding luck, they're building a larger net to catch it. The second principle is the use of intuition. Lucky people don't just have gut feelings, they trust and act on them. The unconscious mind processes data points, like microexpressions or subtle environmental patterns, far faster than the conscious mind can articulate. Lucky people treat these flashes of insight as valid data, rather than ignoring them. By expanding their environmental variety and trusting their unconscious data processing, these individuals maximize the number of opportunities they encounter. The third principle is the expectation of success. When a lucky person enters a new situation, they anticipate a positive result. This mindset changes their physical presence, making them more observant and open to the people around them. Expecting failure has the opposite effect. It causes the brain to filter out positive cues. You may miss a potential mentor or a helpful piece of information because your neurological focus is tuned only to threats and setbacks. The final principle is how we handle misfortune. Consider 2 people involved in the same car accident. Their reactions to that single event define their future trajectory. While an unlucky person might focus on the catastrophe, a lucky person uses a framework called counterfactual thinking. They look at the disaster and ask how much worse it could have been. By reframing a bad event as a pivot point or a lesson, they prevent a setback from becoming a permanent psychological defeat. No one can stop negative events from happening, but by using this processing method, lucky people ensure they always find a way to extract value from the experience. These 4 principles, variety, intuition, expectation, and resilience, form an integrated approach called the serendipity mindset. Unlucky people often wait for the perfect moment before taking a risk, but lucky people understand that taking action generates information. Even a failed attempt provides new data and new connections that wouldn't exist otherwise. Luck is a trainable behavior. It is no different than practicing a musical instrument or learning a new language. It requires a conscious effort to change how you perceive and interact with your surroundings. You can begin this shift today. Change your commute. Talk to a colleague in a different department. When you face your next failure, spend 5 minutes finding the specific lesson it taught you. The people who always seem to win are those who have mastered the psychological mechanics of opportunity. They have optimized their awareness and their reactions so that when chance does strike, they are positioned to capture it.